basketball game up until the Nuggets came up with the layup with 15 seconds left. Steph comes up with the three-point play. Dubs are up 2 with 6 seconds left. And you see Nikola Jokic. I can't get it right here. Boy, what a game. Nice pass to Monty Morris for the game winner. The Joker here, fellas. 35 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists. Monty Morris with a huge 3. Don't leave the shooters. We welcome everybody. The Warriors post-game live presented by Toyota. And the Warriors limping to the All-Star break, losing 4 of their last 5, and we've got drama in the Bay. Festus Ezeli, Durrell Wright, NBA champions to my left. I am Bonte Hill, and what a tough loss here as we look at our crunch time tape. And the Warriors led throughout. They were coasting in this game, and we said it there in the fourth quarter. This game is in the balance. They didn't put away the Denver Nuggets there, 113-110. And D. Wright, look at the Joker, man. He just did what he had to do to will the Nuggets to a big-time win.
Man, the Jokic, the former MVP, trying to go back-to-back. A tough player. He put his team on his back, and he trusted his teammates when he needed them to. I thought the Warriors did a great job with defending the three-point line and defending the other guys and doing a great job, but they just found a way to make big shots when they needed them.
This is a tale of 4 quarters, y'all. This is, during the game, third quarter, fourth quarter, we're up 13. The Warriors are up 13. Now I'm saying to Durrell, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? Well, the Joker's on the other team. That's the MVP. And the more comfortable he kept looking, I'm like, I'm getting nervous because, here we go with Steph with the big shot. And we already know at the end of the game, if Steph has the ball in his hands, I'm not nervous at all. But we gave the MVP the last shot, and man, this was a tough one for the Warriors going into the All-Star break. We really needed this win right here.
42-17 now. That's their 6th home loss of the season. Here's the final play. Looney, solid defense, but Jokic draws a double team. Steph leaves the shooter. Monty Morris, cold, hard cash, nothing but net. And boy, what a tough loss for the Warriors. Again, they led by 16 in this game. 16. And the Nuggets didn't lead until 16 seconds left. Big time shot by Morris. They're now 33-25. And another team in the Western Conference we all have to keep our eyes on. Brutal loss. You can't overstate it here. And the Warriors going to the break feeling down, D, right? After a great first half of the season.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. I can't even lie to you guys. They played some great basketball. They didn't shoot the 3-ball well. Only 29% tonight. So that's one of the biggest strengths of this Warriors team. But they still gave themselves a chance to win a game on the defensive end. But Jokic is just too much, and this is what makes him a great player. Trusting his teammates, making that pass. Right. Superstar making that pass to Monty Morris, who's a good player, but man, that's just a tough one right there.
It's not all bad, right? Because at the end of the day, we got to see Warriors basketball again. The first 3 quarters was exactly what we were talking about. We had the bench playing amazingly well. Right. GP2, shout out to GP2. He came out, his play was electric. Blocking shots on Jokic. We never let him get fully comfortable at the start of the game, even though his numbers were crazy. At halftime, he had 16 and 11. But we're still making him struggle. He only had 1 assist at the half, and but he ends up the game with 8 assists, right? Because he gets the guys involved. When he moves, when he gets the guys involved, the whole team moves. And so our game plan was to stop him, to slow him down. And at the end of the game, he just, he showed why he's the MVP of the league right now.
How about Bryn Forbes coming off the bench for the Nuggets with 22 points, 4 threes himself, and the Nuggets just stayed in there. Didn't wave the white flag. Didn't wave the white flag. Monty Morris with the big 3. He finishes with 13. Look, you talk about Gary Payton II, 6 steals tonight, but it wasn't enough. Andrew Wiggins, 9 points tonight. 4-12 was a bit quiet there. Couldn't come up with that last loose ball, and Monty Morris got out of the break here. Let's go to Karen Burke via WebEx by Cisco, who's standing by inside of Chase Center tonight. And Kareth, wow, what a loss for the Golden State Warriors. It was a great game, but we did not expect that. They led through most of this basketball game up until there was 15 seconds left. But you have a bright spot here in Gary Payton II, who look, this is probably his best game in a few weeks here, KB.
Yeah, let's put a spotlight on this man. It just got dark in this room. I don't know if you noticed that. Pardon me. A spotlight on this man. Okay, that's because Gary Payton II took all the light tonight. Steve Kerr said that the reason why he made GP2 a starter was to get him some minutes. He had only played about 11 minutes in the past 3 games. And also his defense. Let's talk about that defense, because there were times in this game where he was guarding Nikola Jokic. Now, I sit up high on press row, right? And that kind of flattens things when you're looking down at the game. So I checked the game notes, guys. Nikola Jokic, 7 feet, 280. GP2 in the Warriors game notes, 6'2", 190. That's like a fire hydrant guarding the fire truck. All right, and we saw the block that he got right here. He falls, add some push-ups as well. He had a game. You mentioned that he had the 6 steals. That ties his career high. Had 12 points, got 25 minutes in this one. And a couple things. First of all, guys, look at that plus-minus column. Gary Payton Jr. is a plus 13. No other Warrior was even close. Everybody else is either negative or neutral at 0. That was Klay Thompson. Also, another thing on that box score, the Warriors used a 9-man rotation tonight. Is that a playoff preview? We don't know, but it's really encouraging to see Gary Payton Jr. part of that tightened rotation. He deserves to be there. He's so dependable.
There's no doubt about that, KB. We saw Gary Payton II look like the Gary Payton II for most of the quote-unquote first half of the season. That was a good side going into the break, but the Warriors lose 4 or 5 here and lose a heartbreaker to the Denver Nuggets at the buzzer. We'll talk to you a little bit later as we roll along here and look at Steph Curry's month of February and his game tonight. Steph tonight, 25.6 assists. Had the three-point play there, but only 1 of 7 from the three-point line tonight in February. 24 points per game, 6.5 assists, 4 rebounds, but the three-point percentage is still hovering under 40%. It's at 37.7. Field goal percentage is up, though, because he's taken a lot more twos with the floater in the mid-range. So he's got that going. And he hit a tough shot there to get the lead there in the fourth quarter. Be right, what'd you like from Curry tonight?
I like him getting to his mid-range, getting to the basket, mixing it up. And once again, still being that playmaker. No Draymond Green, so Steph Curry is going back to that traditional point guard role. And he's getting guys involved, getting guys open shots, and then just taking what the defense gives him. He's not forcing the three. All those looks are good. He's just missing shots. But I still think Steph Curry is still playing some solid basketball.
I think we did a great job of playing as a team tonight, especially the start of the game, right? We talk about we want to get the bench involved. Well, the guys came in. Jonathan Kuminga was doing his thing off the bench. We have Jordan Poole coming in, had a great, solid game, amazing game from him. Good to see him get back rolling again. It's just the defense. We started off the game talking about defense, right? Offense was we can get the offense going when we move the ball and do the things that we need to do. But on the defensive end, that's the thing that, at the end of the game, we needed to get a stop. And in this league, when you take shortcuts, when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, it will show in games like this when you have a tight and you need to get a stop. Those little leaks that we've been suffering from are going to show in games like this.
You're right. When you look at Steph Curry's three-point shot, what's going on with it? Is he just missing? Is it a mechanical flaw? What have you seen from Steph Curry beyond the arc?
Well, we still talking about the greatest shooter in the world. It's just him missing shots, and it happens. Nobody has ever been defended like Steph Curry. Yeah. So just imagine him trying to find shots, open shots, clean looks every single game. Each team is playing them different. He's seeing double teams, seeing traps. So they're doing a great job with mixing the defenses up. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with it. He's just missing shots that they normally make.
All right, let's focus on the Joker again. We previewed him coming up in this game. He's putting up MVP numbers. Look at his last 4 games here, 22.5 points per game. The rebounds up to barely 13, 7 assists. This guy's a walking triple-double. And then tonight, just an MVP type of night. You can't understate it. He's for this basketball game with 35 points. As you mentioned, Festus, 16 and 11, but I thought the Warriors did a good job of taking away the passing. Well, guess what? In the second half, he started getting doubled. He started finding open shooters, and he took over this basketball game. The Nuggets outscored the Warriors 39 and 30. It was mostly due to the Joker.
It's impressive to see how on his own pace he plays, right? Even when the night wasn't going his way, we're looking at the half and I said, how did he get 16 and 11? This is crazy. He just knows a way to get involved in the game. And by the way, I'm not taking anything away from Mike Malone either, because he is a great coach, another Coach of the Year candidate with his team. They're suffering from injuries, but you would never tell, right? Because they're doing the same thing the Warriors are doing, which is strength in numbers, the next man up. And having a guy like Joker in the middle, picking other teams apart and getting other guys involved, this team they're a team to reckon with.
It was actually 16 to 15 at the half. I see the 11 rebounds, 15 total rebounds. It's just unbelievable how he played tonight, and he's so strong. He gets to every one of his spots. I thought Looney did a good job defensively and trying to hold him off, but the Joker's just too good.
Looney did a great job. Kuminga did a good job. GP, everybody that saw him did a good job. Just because he scored those 35 points doesn't mean that they didn't do a good job or made it hard on him. I think the biggest thing is coming into that fourth quarter. He only had 4 4 assists. We talked about that pregame. You got to make sure he's not getting these other guys involved and making them feel good. Those 4 assists, to that 8 came in the 4th quarter. So that just lets you know he still has so much confidence in his teammates and making big shots.
This guy's looking to put up another MVP season.
Man.
That was a nasty game. Nikola Jokic.
By the way, bringing the big man back, too.
Oh, yes. Embiid and Jokic.
Embiid, Jokic, yeah. Rudy Gobert, all these guys are bringing the big man back. So shout out to him and what he's doing right now. This is a very impressive game.
All right, let's send it back to the Lazy Boy broadcast booth and hear from Fitz and Buki.
So the big picture is that the Warriors are 42-17. Now, the close-up view is that they've lost 4 of their last 5. But all these games at Chase Center have come down to the final seconds. Until they get Draymond Green and James Wiseman back, you're going to play a lot of these type of games, and that's where perimeter shooting or a rough three-point shooting night, the Warriors did so many great things tonight. Denver just never gave up, and Denver executed with that run in the final 2 minutes.
You got to give Michael Malone credit there. And there wasn't anything that Coach Kerr could really do because you want Looney guarding Jokic down the stretch there. But they did a good job of just kind of walking the Warriors down as they went hack-a-loon. And they converted on the other side. And Monty Morris hit a tough shot. You can't really blame Steph there for leaving him. It's Jokic. The guy's been doing everything down the stretch. You commit to him, and they get an open shot. But all in all, though, without Draymond Green, they've done a pretty respectable job. Winning 9 in a row. Yes, they lost 4 out of the last 5. And without Draymond Green, your defense is going to slip a little bit here. On-ball defense, defensive rebounding here and there, guarding the paint, protecting the paint, all those different things. It's going to be tough without Draymond. But second half, obviously, you're looking forward to get Draymond back, hopefully Wiseman back, get some size. That'll help the Warriors out a lot.
Yeah, and you think about it, that this effort, 7 guys in double figures, they won the points off turnover battle, they won the fast break battle. They just can't get any taller. And Jokic is an incredible big man. So these are the type of games they're going to play until the Warriors are fully healthy. They're more than capable of winning these type of games. It's just that the Knicks game and this game are heartbreak, and the Laker games was a game at the end that they won. And they're going to be exciting. They're going to hurt when you lose, but they have enough to get across the finish line in a bunch of these games.
Yeah, but some of the bright spots, first of all, tonight, obviously, Otto Porter and what he's been doing lately with the rebounding has been so needed. And I think he realizes that, so he's trying to make more of an effort to get down there on both sides of the floor. Looney with his rebounding down the stretch here, offensive rebounds. And Klay looks great physically. Now, sometimes he's short on his jumpers, and he's going to get his legs back under him more and more. But he's only going to get better and better. So you got to be really optimistic about this late push the Warriors are going to have towards the playoffs here when they get back from All-Star break with the healthy Klay Thompson getting better and better. Hopefully Draymond Green gets back. Wiseman, all hands on deck here. And you look forward to the real season, which is the postseason for the Warriors. That's what they're aiming for. Obviously, you got the Phoenix Suns who are ahead of them. Memphis is still there. John Morant is leading those guys, and you like those guys, the moxie that they have as a team, Memphis Grizzlies. But Warriors are in good position.
Well, think about it, though. Denver has given the Warriors 2 of their 6 home losses, one by 3 points, and tonight by 1 point. So maybe it's a good time for a break for everyone. You love the Warriors' record at 42-17. A little bit of heartbreak how they went into the break.
No doubt about that, and the Warriors are going to have to see the Denver Nuggets twice in early March in the same week in Denver. So there's been some fascinating games here. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Warriors on the other side, Steve Kerr. And Jokic with the nice assist to Monty Morris at the buzzer. The Warriors suffer their 17th loss. The Nuggets dealt the Warriors 2 losses this season, both the Chase Center. Steph Curry with a team high 25, Klay with 16. Let's hear from the head coach, Steve Kerr, after this devastating loss at the end of the first half of the NBA season.
Steve, thank you. What are your observations about the way the game ended with the Nuggets' strategy to foul Kavan and then the last shot that they got up?
They did a great job executing down the stretch, and we just needed them to make one more play, and they made the play, and we didn't. So give them credit. All in all, I was thrilled with the way we played compared to the last few games. I thought we were engaged. I thought we competed. I thought we did a lot of really good things and spent the entire game ahead and just couldn't close it out. But I told the guys if we continue to play with that kind of fight and and connection, then we're going to be in good shape, after the break.
Steph looked like he went to kind of half double Jokic, and that obviously led to the open three. Was that strategy, or was that just kind of a freelance situation? What happened on that?
What strategy?
Steph kind of looking like he was going to maybe double Jokic, which opened up the three. I mean, did you want that double, or just what happened on that last defensive possession?
Yeah, well, Jokic is obviously, he's the reigning MVP. He's, he was down there scoring at will in the fourth quarter, just at the rim, and I think Steph got pulled in. Obviously, you don't want to give up a three when you're up two, so we didn't want to leave three-point shooters. But I think the natural inclination is to pull in and help a little bit. And Jokic is such a good passer. He just made a brilliant pass, and give Morris credit. He knocked down the big one.
Steve, Kevon was distraught before the game was even over. What do you say to him after a game like this? Because he felt obviously like he was an issue, and you could see it on his face.
Yeah, I mean, we can all look in the mirror and take blame, myself included. I made some decisions at the end that didn't work out. We missed some open shots that could have sealed the game. We turned it over, I think, 8 times in the second half. I thought that was crucial. We had 3 turnovers in the first half, and we were really going well. Then we had a string of about 5 straight turnovers, kind of late third, that kept Denver in the game. So when you start thinking about all these things, it's never one play. It's always a series of plays. So Loon's going to feel bad because he's a great competitor and just an amazing teammate. But stuff happens.
Is there anything you can say to a guy when he's down in the dumps, though?
Yeah, of course. Of course, we tell him how much we love him and how great he's been for us all year. And another game next week. But I just told the guys to go enjoy the All-Star break and get some fresh air. And we've had a hell of a run to be at where we are right now, 42-17, and like I said, I thought we found some things tonight, changed our rotation up a little bit. I thought Gary was fantastic. I thought Otto Porter played a brilliant game. As I said, our defense was much, much better. But Jokic just took over the game, and he was amazing out there. So, like I said, if we come back and play with that kind of fight, start to get healthy, get some guys back, I feel great about this team and about where we are.
One result of the different rotation was you're splitting Steph and Klay's minutes up pretty big time here. Was that the intent, or did that happen?
Yeah, that was part of it. We wanted to have a little more size coming off the bench with our that second quarter group, and so we included Klay in that group, and we wanted to stagger Steph and Klay a little bit more, so that each guy could carry a group if need be. So I like the rotation. I thought J.K. was great. He and Otto together were a good combination. Jordan Poole made some big shots for us. So, like I said, a lot of good stuff. You always have to judge the process. We can nitpick the details, and that's our job as a staff. And I'm going to, beat myself up tonight, and I won't sleep because there's several things that, I'll kick myself for and think I should have done this, I should have done that. And the players will all do that because that's what the business is. It's competition at the highest level, and it stings. It stings when you lose one like this. But the process is important. I really liked our process tonight, and we're going to bounce back.
Steve,
Go ahead, Janie.
What are you going to kick yourself over tonight, specifically? And also, Morris had missed a few games for them. How much more dynamic are they when he's, leading the offense a little bit?
I'm not going to share with you what I'm going to kick myself for. Morris was great. I mean, he hit the big one at the end. He's always been a really good player, and hit the big shot at the end. So Denver, they deserved it. I mean, like I said, Jokic was the guy and just took over the game and was just too much.
Steve, what was the thinking when they were doing the Hack-a-Looney thing? What made you keep him on the court? And I'm assuming it was to guard Jokic, right?
Yeah, to guard Jokic. He stepped up and he knocked down the two after the first time. And so we kept him out there. And that's one where it can go either way. If you take him out at that point and Jokic goes down and scores, you can kick yourself for that decision too. So there's a lot of, there were a few tonight that you can kind of see both sides and you can make one decision or the other. And as sometimes happens in this business, it doesn't work out for you.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you, mentioned about getting some good moments from players off the bench. I wanted to ask about Jonathan Kuminga. There seemed to be a real buzz in the arena when he made some plays. What do you think of his ceiling and his growth as he's played?
Yeah, Kuminga's been great. He's strung together a great month, really coming along well, and thrilled with his development, his production, and his growth. He's gaining a lot of valuable experience right now, and played a good game tonight.
He kind of stole my.
All right, that was Steve Kerr, presented by a great win. He touched on the Hack-a-Looney that the Denver Nuggets employed there late in the game. Looney missed 4 or 6 free throws. Of course, Loon Dogs had a stellar first half of the season. He's played in every single game, but he's going to be kicking himself for those missed free throws. And they went the last 3 minutes and 7 seconds for a long stretch there in the last 3:07 without a bucket there. So the offense bogged down, and Looney couldn't hit those free throws late.
Yeah, we've heard Looney talk about this in his post-game interviews about his free throws and how his mom is always on him. So he's definitely going to be tough on himself. He did a great job, too, in guarding the big fella Jokic. So he's definitely going to have a tough one with this. But the best thing about it is All-Star break. He gets to get away. He's been doing a great job of being an Iron Man for this team, being available every single night. And we know how Coach Kerr trusts Looney every single night to bring it.
I think the good things to take away from this night, because I don't really like to ball. We know we lost, right? There's a lot to build up on because we're playing for later in the year. We're playing for the playoffs, right? We're not just satisfied with being here today. So I love that we have Jordan Poole back playing at the level that we are accustomed to him playing at. I love that Kevon Looney, he missed some free throws, but he was doing a good job on defense. That's something that we need. 13-9. Wiggs was playing great defense. Hey, I know he's going to be kicking himself with that 50-50 ball tonight, but, man, he was playing great defense even though the ball wasn't falling like that for him. I mean, having GP2 come out, start, and he was getting the crowd into it. I mean, there's so much to take away from this game. I mean, I can't let the last 3-4 minutes of the game determine what this game looked like because we definitely got back on track from where we were.
Yeah, no doubt. And there was a positive before the game. Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Stephen Curry received their All-Star jerseys, of course, selected to the All-Star game. Steph Curry going to his 8th All-Star game. Draymond Green, his 4th, and of course, Andrew Wiggins going to his first ever All-Star game. And the kids got to come out. Look at Cannon. Look at Wiggins' kid.
If you want a heartfelt moment, right? You go right here. Here you go. Here you go.
There it is. He almost bounced off Curry.
Cannon got some speed on him, man.
Cannon's fast, man. This is the greatest part of it all. He's trying to get off the court. Raymond Ritter. Come on, man. What's up, Ray Ritter? Cannon's like, I'm not trying to lead the court.
I'm used to this. This is my show now. I'm ready.
You want to go for the jump ball. Look at Raymond Ritter trying to get him. Couldn't do it. So that is a positive. I hear what you said, Festus. Still losing 4 or 5. It's a nasty taste in their mouth there.
It's hard.
We don't know when Draymond Green's going to be back. We don't know when James Wiseman's going to be back. So tough loss here at the crib. Don't forget, NBCSportsBayArea.com. Doves Talk Live here with Andrew Wiggins and Grant Liftman. And Wiggins talked about Wiggins had a strong night, 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, 5 and 6 from the floor. And earlier today, he was added to the Rising Stars game, replacing Pacers rookie from Oregon, Chris Duarte. He suffered an injury earlier this week. Jonathan Kuminga's been putting on the show in the month of February, coming into this game, averaging over 15 points per game and about 4 rebounds and shooting well from the field, shooting nearly 50% from the field. So, JK going to the Rising Stars Challenge in Cleveland, Ohio.
Congrats,
well-deserved there. And he came out in the first half, had 12 points. Didn't take a shot, though, in the second half. Was guarding Jokic, got into foul trouble, but would have liked to see him get a couple more shots and get some buckets there in the second half.
Yeah, I think he did a great job today, bringing those 12 points, knocking down 2 threes, just being aggressive all the time. He stays aggressive. He's always trying to tear down the rim, so you love it. I can't even wait to see him in the future.
Oh, man.
Yeah, how much better he's going to get when he's in his early 20s, but super happy for him going to that All-Star game as a young fella because he definitely deserves it.
I love JK's game because he got in the game because of his defense. For a coach to put him in and trust him to play against LeBron James, that says a lot for a coach to trust you like that. It usually takes rookies a couple of years to figure it out on the defensive end in the NBA because everybody can play, and you're trying to get used to being in the paint, the 2-9, 3 seconds in the paint on defense, and watching him develop. Right, because we always knew he had this quick first step, but now he's starting to find his spots. He knows when to cut, when Steph is driving, all these things. As you said, I'm really excited to see him develop because the more he keeps playing, then the more IQ he keeps getting. He could be a really dangerous player in this league, and I see him as a future all-defensive team candidate.
Oh, no doubt about that. He's going to be a future DPOI candidate. Fest is here, and Draymond Green, a guy who has won a Defensive Player of the Year award. We had an injury alert earlier today, as the Warriors Public Relations Department sent out a release. Draymond Green and missed the last 20 games, 21 if you want to include the January 9th game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Due to a lower back and disc injury, he's making good progress in his recovery, and it's anticipated that he'll return at some point after the All-Star break. He has recently progressed to doing some light on-court activity and will continue to increase his workload moving forward. The next update will be provided when he returns to practice on a date to be determined. So the defense has slipped up, played really good defense in the first half, but they ended up giving up 39 points in the fourth quarter and 117 overall. So missing their defensive captain, communication, they needed that communication late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, their defensive anchor, man, they need Draymond Green to get back healthy. Just because he erases so many mistakes, on that back end, just seeing everything, over-communicating, something he does excellent, and also just being a facilitator. Now we're going to see Steph Curry and Klay Thompson get even easier shots, and also Andrew Wiggins. So I can't wait to see him back out there with these guys because we all know that competitive fire is going to come. And he's going to over-communicate everything, and his team is going to get back rolling.
I think another aspect of the game tonight where we got out-competed at, because when you look at the different things, so like they had 18 turnovers, the Denver Nuggets did, right? We had 10 turnovers, so we were taking care of the ball. That's something a big factor in our game lately. But we got out-rebounded, 48-38, right? That's the hustle points. And to be honest, to watching the whole game, we were playing hard defense the whole time. It was that fourth quarter that the game kind of got away from us. But, you see on our side 13 steals. You don't get that without playing hard. And so there's a lot of good things to take away from this game. Yeah. It's just that fourth quarter. And so you can attribute it to being tired. You can attribute it to just letting your foot off the gas pedal. There's so many different things. But, man, it's just it was a tough loss, but it's something that we can learn from.
Yeah, outscored 39 and 30 in that fourth quarter again. Jokic, can't overstate it. Those numbers are nasty. 35, 17, and 8. But let's spin it positive. It was a good first half of the season. They're 42 and 17 and second in the Western Conference, and they had some big-time plays in the first half. We previewed our top 10 plays in the pregame show, 10 through 6. Ooh. Here's number 5 this year. Hey, former teammate Kelly Oubre Jr., watch your head.
This is the biggest 6'3" man in the league right now. Oh, my gosh. This is a guard dunking off a vert.
He should have did the Oubre baby.
He should have. And remember, Oubre went scoreless in that game.
Look at Eric
to the Bay Area. All right, number 4 here.
Oh, your former teammate. I told you about getting back in your former team and getting back in your former teammates. Hey, take that with you.
Hey, remember, this was the game that woke up Andrew Wiggins. This really started his all-star campaign. He woke up, had 35 points in that one. And that was one of 2 posters he had that night over his former teammate, Karl Anthony Towns.
That pass was nasty, too, from Steph.
Maple Mamba.
Number 3, man, Maple Mamba. That's a new one,
man.
Number 3, Steph Curry with the game winner against the Rockets. Remember, they had to bounce back as they lost to Indiana. This was a back-to-back. They were getting blown out in the first half. Steph Curry saves today. Get off me.
That was tough. I called game.
Kevin Porter Jr. Step back. Nasty, nothing but net.
I just love watching Steph at the end of the game. He looks forward to these moments. You see the smile on his face when it's time to take a game-winning shot.
Unbelievable.
That's my favorite part. He's trying to run out, and Raymond stops him.
Raymond took the charge.
Yeah. And number 2, the return of Klay Thompson after not being on the basketball court for 941 days, not playing in live game action.
Watch out, big
Klay
fella. You reach,
Thompson
I
made
teach.
his third.
On his head.
Oh. And that's when we all knew his legs were feeling good.
Oh, yeah, the low crossover and then catch the bodies. Man, that was nasty, Klay.
Yes, absolutely. You can't help but be excited for Klay. This is a night where, after all these years, rehabbing, coming back from one injury and getting injured again, and finally being able to come back, the whole arena erupted. It was amazing.
And, of course, the number 1 play was Steph Curry breaking a 3-point record, surpassing the great Ray Allen, a.k.a. Jesus Shuttlesworth, at the Garden, at Madison Square Garden in front of Spike Lee and everybody, breaking a 3-point record.
The greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry. This was a sweet moment just because of the other 2 great shooters were in the building as well. So
Reggie Miller was calling the game. Ray Allen showed up. You see the embrace right there. What a moment for Stephen Curry. We knew it was just a matter of time before he became the all-time leader in 3-point makes in NBA history.
I mean, if you think about this season, we talked about the grade for the first half of the season, and I gave them an A- because if you came into the season and said, Warriors, you're going to have a 47-15 record. What is it?
42 and
17. Sorry, I'm just flipping it around. 42-17. If you came into the season saying this is what your record was going to be going to the All-Star break, of course you would take it in a heartbeat, especially with coming into a season not knowing how we're going to look, how do these new guys. Klay Thompson was coming back from an injury, and knowing that Draymond Green was going to be out at some point too. So I think right now we have a lot of things. I mean, looking at that highlight clip, it's a lot of amazing things that have happened so far. So we have a lot of things to build upon for this next half of the season.
Yeah, 23 games left in the season. Then it's time to push for the postseason here. These 23 games going to be tough. Again, they got the Nuggets, Clippers, and the Bucks 1 week in March here. So they've got some tough games coming up here as we look at the edge presented by Great Resort and Casino. Warriors are 5.5-point favorites. They don't cover. The under hits in this game, and the Warriors have won 33 of its last 41 games at Chase Center against Western Conference teams. The over is now 29-17 in the Nuggets' last 46 games. For more information like that, go to NBCSportsEdge.com. Warriors again lose at the buzzer. Monty Morris with the 3-pointer, but JK, he had a solid night there with 12 points. We're gonna go at the boogeyman here. Oh, get off me, DeMarcus. Spin cycle. Finger roll, that's nasty. More coming up on Warriors Post Game Live.